And we are live. Hi, Kalina. Hi, Rachel. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Hello, everyone. So, we are here today to have a conversation about one of the things that light me up. It's a program that I created. It's a Joy Business Mentorship. It's based on Joy Business, and I called it Becoming Business Brilliant. And I've done it. Kalina was just asking me before I came on, Rach, how many times have you facilitated this program? It's been 5, it may be 6, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. And it's a six months program. And today we're going to have a conversation about it.
Yay! Wonderful. So I just wanted to ask a couple of questions, actually, Rachel. So you're a facilitator for many years, and you have different specialities that you actually facilitate. And how did you came around Joy of Business, and actually how this program come to fruition in your head, and how you started?
So I always loved working. Like I started, and when I say work, I'm saying work, but what I'm really saying is I enjoy contributing. I started as a young 11-year-old babysitting in Ireland, contributing so that my aunts could go out with their husbands for an hour or two. So it wasn't this, and I love money. So as a young teenager, my mother didn't have money, particularly spare money. So I always looked for ways that I could get what I would like to have. And I found jobs babysitting or working in Ireland, we call them fish and chip shops. And so there were, we do like fish and homemade chips, fries, you say, in Canada and the US. And so I would have like found all of these ways to contribute, and I've always loved working. That's one thing about me, whether I worked in recruitment or in hotel management, wherever I worked, I absolutely always loved working. And now I recognized that it wasn't the work aspect of it, it was about contributing to a place so that the business can function greater.
Wow.
Mm.
And that's a very different point of view of contributing, and like, what can I contribute here? And you even had this with me just before we went live, that we had a conversation and you were like, hold on, what do you require?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I just want to like dive in there because like there's so I'm gonna say like, there was like so many point of views. Like even like when I say business, like how many of you like go to the presumptive reality, like what business is or what business looks like, or if you will be having a business, like what you have to do, like what you have to do, what you have to do, what you have to do, and like that's like one of the real like main things for me, because there were like so many things that I had a presumptive reality of, which is a presumptive reality is like what you assume to be true that's not actually true. And because I had so many presumptive realities what business is, like I was actually staying away from it, because I was like, if this is business, I don't want to do anything with it. Like this is not fun, this is not enjoying, like it's all about like what I have to do, what I have to deliver. And yeah, and it never worked. Like even when I forced myself, like I was like, I will do this. I will wake up 6 a.m. in the morning and I will do that. Like nothing really worked. And I took my first Joe of Business, like a big class, which it was a 3-day class. It's called Business Done Different. And in that class, I just realized like how different my reality with business is. And because I was so entrained into doing business from this reality, I really required, I'm going to say like a long period of time
Yeah.
support, because it was so easy for me to go into these realities of like what I have to do now. Like, oh, like I have to be serious. Like I cannot laugh on a meeting, or like I have to do this, I have to do that. And like that's one of the things that like we are actually going to invite you, or we are inviting you to Become a Business Brilliant program that Rachel is will be facilitating over 6 months, where it's I attended like a couple of times, and it's I'm gonna say it's such a beautiful space because people actually can come here. It's not like a short term; it's a long term, and we meet every week, and they can actually come on and ask their questions and get support
Yeah.
in all of those places that they decided they have to do, or they have to choose, or they decided they are stuck, and they'll come on and ask a question, and then like everything in their business, and not like for their business, but everybody was listening to it, like things would start to move and change. And like for me, I know like when I'm in that space of movement and that space of generation, it's first of all like so much more fun. It's just way lighter, and the beautiful part is everything in my life works and my business works, and it's just such a beautiful and such a different way of being, and from that space doing business in the world. And yeah.
And people haven't been exposed to this. So when you asked me my first experience of joy business, at the time I was going through a big burnout, and I genuinely didn't know what was next in my life. I'm a high achiever, and I really love to give, and I hadn't balanced the difference between what I can output in energy and then what I have to put in, to myself to actually be able to have sustainable reality with business. And what I'm talking about is the energy that you gift, And so when Simone said, how many of you in this room can contribute? And I looked around that room, I won't ever forget it. It was in Kensington in London. And I looked around that room and everyone put up their hand because they knew that they were capable of contributing, adding their energy. When you walk into an office, walk into a space, walk into a work meeting, walk into your business, walked into my business and changed the whole thing. That by you walking in there, that by willing to be a gift and contribute, that things will become greater through presence. And one of the biggest feedbacks we get is, and this is, I work with some CEOs as well, is that they don't ever get anything achieved when they're frantic and they're upset and they're stressed. Like, where did we get to the point of view that you have to do stress when it comes to business, when really what works for what's true is people produce way more when they're way relaxed in their system, in their body, in their environment. Their production and what they're capable of producing is a way higher yielding, And so this is the part that's huge about joy business.
Yeah, and one other thing with the relaxation, that piece of being present, and how you would ask, where is my energy required? So we all have to prioritize in our daily lives in different ways, right? But if you are stuck in your head and you are, as you're saying, frantic and worried, you might not prioritize in the way that would be the biggest contribution for what you are asking to achieve, and what would be the contribution for your business, the company, or whatever you are dealing with, even in your personal life. Because all of those tools, the way I see it, you can use them. You don't have to have a business in order to use the tools. They can be applied everywhere.
I mean, years ago, when I was in Dublin, this is about 2018, I went in and I talked to a group of solicitors and lawyers, and I talked to them about the joy business is your life is your business and your business is your living. And I was amazed at how many of them got this. They were like, yeah, because if I'm stressed about my daughter, or if one of my kids are at home sick, or someone in my family is off, it affects my presence and my performance in the workplace. And so a lot of people they know this already. They just haven't got the tools to make a different choice. And so one of the things we really talk about in this 6-month program is becoming a leader, the choice to lead. And the choice to lead is not going into reaction with people, not going into fight, not going into stress. It's actually really becoming present and looking at what is the next choice. And for me, the next choice is to always add space. And when I talk about relaxation, I'm not talking about laying on the couch watching Netflix, because that may work sometimes. So I'm talking about being present with everything that's going on, with like maybe 50 projects, and looking at, we call it spherical awareness. Relaxation is being present with what's going on, and then what's required with certain projects, and a time to pull away from a project. We've just had a conversation about a project at the end of November that I'm actually like, we're canceling it. And so this is when that's not yielding something that's going to produce greater, so you get very clear on what essentially this is about, what works and what doesn't work. And the other thing in this is, when people come in and they see the different core principles, I'm going to call them the core principles of Joy Business, which is question, choice, possibility, contribution. What question can I be here? Einstein said it, if I had an hour, I'd spend the first 55 minutes getting to the question that's going to get me to the awareness of what I require to have for things to work. And so question is always, what is available here? What is going to work here? What else is possible here beyond anything that we've ever considered? It's not cutting off and come to a conclusion. It is really reaching for what will work and then taking action. And the big thing about Joy Business is, what would you choose if you couldn't fail? If something doesn't work, and I've worked with this with companies, if something doesn't work, we will receive the awareness of what was chosen by all of us, coming away from a blame culture, which is what the program is about, and coming into, hang on a second, I created this. And essentially, this is what really works when people come in, and we'll have people looking to start a new business or develop their business, grow their business, people that they have a sense that they haven't got the tools to be able to become greater. As Troy said, the level of projection and expectation in regard to negative connotations with business is very dominant for a lot of people, and so a lot of people are looking to get away from business instead of leaning in and seeing, what's my reality here. And for me, the Joy Business tools every day of my living, the way that I generate business and the way that I generate money and the way that I generate my living is through the use of, what can I choose here? I'm not pathetic. I'm not disempowered. I have an ability for choice. And what would I like to have? What is it that I'm great at and what I'm weak at? Then either I get someone to train me up on that, or I hand that over, so that I can become strong and effective and efficient in and also competent in the way that I live, in the way that I generate money, and in the way that I be business. Yeah.
And I just want to add, and you mentioned like briefly, like we did had a lot of like people from like different bases and like different places that comes to the program, like from where actually people that would have burnout and like looking to generate something from the scratch and like start something brand new, and people that were looking like actually generating 500 million per year, and they were like already like multimillionaires and like looking to expand and grow all of their business. And it's just like so beautiful to, I'm gonna say, like see everyone and like how everybody can contribute to each other's to like inspire, like going, oh, like actually, like if that person is asking for 500 million, like what else I can ask, and like how everybody contributes to each other. And like the program, the way it works is it's every Wednesdays, starting from the first Wednesday of the month, like the first week.
January 25 we start. Yeah.
Like with the new year, we'll be starting the program, and the first week we have what would you call it? A meeting, like a group meeting, like where we all come together. And please, Rachel, feel free to add anything that I missed. Where we actually get to come together, clears like some limitations, and like get some like to have like some conversations to How would you describe it actually? The first week meeting that we have.
The first meeting that we have is about people getting present and taking, I'm going to say, they take an overview, a helicopter view of where they are in their living and their business right now and what they would like to have. And then they take a look at like, what is stopping them from choosing greater? You know, where did they settle for something? Or, you know, and so we call it like a clearing call. And it's where people take a look at, hey, how come I am choosing this limitation? Why am I basing my business and my growth on this point of view perspective? So it's also about really getting to know where you're functioning from and willing to become greater all the time. And the other thing in this is anyone who's on here and who has been on the program, people have met themselves where they want to give up or where they are faced with the amount of limitation and the projection and expectation of not actually moving towards being successful or working extremely hard and nothing changing, instead of getting present with where their energy is required. Like one thing I'm really great at is dictating energy to where I would like it to be so I can grow something. And it's something like if you're going for a run or a jog or a cycle, you know the energy is coming from your legs and your thighs and you're moving the bike. But a lot of people, they have not utilized their energy in a way that creates growth and more possibilities for them in business. So they move that energy to what I would like to have. And so for a lot of people, it's a very beginning of a new way of action. We're in what Gary Douglas Staying here, the creators of Access Consciousness, we're in a new phase called the realms of creation. And most people have been working from realms that limit them and destroy them or destroy their bodies. And this is a new way of generating and a new way of creating. And it is really about what is it you would like to have? Why can you not have that? It's only a point of view. It's only a limitation. And the big thing, I'm going to drop the R bomb. It is about receiving. It is about, am I willing to receive that I can be successful in business? Am I willing to receive that I can contribute? And am I willing to be a gift that actually can create massive change in the world? And the big change that we're really looking to generate for each person is, instead of having stress and frantic and settling for financial limitations and business limitations, that you actually can have peace in knowing that you can create anything that you actually would like to have through receiving, you having you, and working, starting from there.
That's so beautiful. And actually, one of the things you already touched on, but I wanted to ask, one thing that we have in the program is to create a business that is profitable. And when people hear profitable, like, they do have a lot of different expectations. Can you just expand a little bit on what do you see profitability as?
Well, profitability for me is my living is occurring in every 10 seconds. And not only does the business actually contribute to my life becoming greater, also my body becoming greater, you know. Where I live, I've made bigger choices in where I live. I live in much beautiful places now, or when I travel, I stay in much beautiful places. The biggest profitability for me, because I'm a bit of a freak, is when I see someone become lighter and know that they can have something that they completely decided was impossible. You know, at the moment, I have two of my kids. You met my son Dara. I have two of my kids working in a football, environment, a big coaching environment in Toronto now as football coaches, and they had kind of given up on their dream. And by me reaching for what I would like to have, they kept going, you know. And I'm not sure what creates you giving up, but one of the things about this program is never give up, never give in, never quit. And even when things are like tough or maybe challenging, that you showing up for you and, you know, saying, hey, I will have something greater, you know. So for me, profitability is having a greater experience with your body, having a greater experience with people, getting to see people smile. I mean, within Rachel O'Brien Consulting this year, we've worked with like so many translators and brought on people that were like, can I give this a go? Can I give translating a go? Can I give graphics a go? Can I give making videos a go? And so we've seen people develop their talents and abilities and become proud of their work, which creates something different for their bodies. And so profitability is not only money. It's great to have money. It's fantastic to have money. It paid for my flowers. It paid for my beautiful desk. It paid for my beautiful shirt. It pays that Troy can work with me. You know what I mean? So not only can I have money as something that creates my living is greater, depending on what I do with it, of course. Also, I see the profitability with other people, with the earth. When we get happier, the way the earth works as an ecosystem of business is also an education aspect of the program, and the way a tree produces fruits, you know. So it's really about putting your roots out to what you require, and energetically what you require to become greater, and also the skills, the abilities, and the tools that will allow you to create what you uniquely would like to have.
Yeah. And like, if you are listening this far and you're like, hey, this is a foreign language to me, I just want to acknowledge, like, that's okay. Like when I first like starting to, I couldn't even like hear like anything, because I had like so many like bad experience, so many point of view, so many lies that was locked into my body and my being. And so I would say, like, please, like, don't like just dismiss or reject for that. Like, if there's, but like when you listen,
You can totally dismiss and reject it too.
and you still can. And if you're like, hey, do you know what? Like, I don't understand it, but there is like something there for me. There is like so many wonderful resources. There's so many wonderful facilitators, like Joy of Business facilitators all over the world. There's so many beautiful classes that you can start with. And if you're like, hey, do you know what? Like, I'm ready for this. Like, I would love to like go ahead, and you know that you require support on this journey. We are starting on
January
8th. January 8th. We're starting on January 8th for 6 months. I popped the link here. It's like rachelbryan.org/BBB, where you can get to see the whole program, and you can even put a little request in the bottom of the landing page, so we can just give you a call to answer all of your questions regarding to the program. And if you choose it, we would love to have you there and have us getting better.
And can we finish on this? I would say the big thing for me is I lost my ball of light, my joy, when it came to, like, when I was a young girl, I would always get joyous about like learning new things, and whatever occurred along the road, I lost my enthusiasm and joy. And so that spark, that's the biggest part about profitability for me. That spark for what I can have and what I can create seems to get activated every day when I'm willing to live in a way that feeds the future of what I would like to have as my living. What about if this program was you gifting yourself 6 months to be present with what you would like to have as your future, with work, with business, with your body, with your living? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thanks for this conversation, and check out joybusiness.com. And yeah, how does it get any better than this? And I wonder what is available to us with business, true contribution, and from receiving today beyond anything that we've ever considered.
Wonderful. Thanks so much,
Lena. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Rachel, and thanks so much for everybody that's watching this. I hope this is a contribution, and how does it get better? Bye.